All right, let's go. It's a beautiful day when you wake up to a Bitcoin all-time high, a pumping altcoin market, and not a word from nightmares. Some of you may be a little surprised, but if you watch this channel, you know that we
never, ever, ever give up.
Now, obviously, in the world of crypto, things aren't always as they seem. You definitely need to pay close attention to your surroundings because the unexpected can truly come out of nowhere.
Fuck me right in the pussy.
So we're going to talk some crypto, we'll get into the top news, and of course, answers to all your burning questions.
So let me get this straight. You were walking on the beach with your boyfriend,
Yes.
and you found this big cucumber sticking out of the sand.
That's correct.
Okay, but how did it end up halfway up your ass? I mean, did you pick it up and stick it up your ass, or did your boyfriend help with that?
So sit back. If you need a snack, grab it now. You may want to
Turn the lights down.
because on this channel, you just never know what you're gonna find out.
This has been a secret project we've been working on for a long time.
What are you doing?
There's going to tell me how much I have to fuck around to find out what I need to find out.
So if you do like this video, the best thing you can do is share it with someone else. And if you're the one who's crying in the comment section that I hurt your feelings, you may want to go check on your bread. I think it's ready.
I'm just trying to get used to it in case I get a big boyfriend in there, like a Tyrone or a big Mike and shit. I'm not really used to big boyfriends, you know?
Check this out from the Stein Grabber. The first MiCA-compliant stablecoin, Europe, launches on the XRP Ledger. And with the approval of the Genius Act looking very probable, this seems imminent for the US as well. And if the Genius Act, for some reason, doesn't get approved,
You know what I'll do? I'll run again and I'll shove it up their ass.
we also saw this from Tom Emmer and the only Dem congressman you can trust, Richie Torres, introducing the Blockchain Regulatory Certainty Act to protect blockchain developers and service providers that never custody consumer funds from unjust government prosecution. And Tom seemed pretty excited with Richie after drafting this new bipartisan bill.
I'm gonna shake your hand. I want to shake his hand. I want to shake his hand.
Other big news right here. XRP Futures launched at $19 million last week on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, saying the addition of XRP and micro XRP futures to our leading regulated cryptocurrency suite will provide investors with the deeply liquid, capital-efficient tools they need to support their growing cryptocurrency investment and hedging strategies. All right, we'll get into some updated target price levels in just a minute, but first, let's take a look at some other top headlines.
Adam Schiff is the worst criminal in Congress in the last 250 years. Adam Schiff went to the podium day after day after day saying, I know nothing about this. We're not going to discuss it. We're going to protect it. And then Adam Schiff, led the prosecution of the impeachment trial in the Senate of President Donald Trump.
Guys like Adam Schiff and, Shifty Pencil Neck. Pencil Neck. He's a marvel. No, he's a structural marvel. He has a neck, and his head is like a watermelon, and his neck. And how that neck can hold up that big, oversized, ugly head is hard to believe.
Crypto czar David Sachs on the progress of the Genius Act stablecoin bill.
So first of all, we have significant bipartisan support for this. I think 15 Democrats voted for the bill to pass this key procedural threshold of cloture, which means there'll be no filibuster against the bill. We have every expectation now that it's going to pass.
Construction for a new Joe Biden statue has begun. During a recent House hearing, Representative Nancy Mace shares naked photos of herself allegedly taken without her consent. She went on to say,
And by the way, they're real and they're spectacular.
Donald Trump is holding his Trump meme coin dinner tonight at the Trump National Golf Club in Washington, D.C. Unfortunately, there will be no live stream and no video gear, but phones are allowed. Things definitely got a little rough for me last night after my beloved Knicks blew a 16-point lead in the fourth quarter. Bad defense lost us the game, but I gotta say, NBA referees are like the COVID vaccine. They do more harm than good, and there's no consequence for being wrong. Tax filings reveal that Biden's cancer charity spent millions on salaries and zero on research. Karma really is a bitch. Charges have been brought against Representative LaMonica McIver for assaulting, impeding, and interfering with law enforcement at the ICE facility in Newark, New Jersey. And they're also looking into her role as the Hamburglar. If we can get serious for just a second, because someone needs to check on Kathy Griffin. The Texas Strategic Bitcoin Reserve Bill, SB 21, officially passes and will now go to the governor's desk for a final signature. Jake Tapper releases a new book entitled Original Sin: Jake Tapper's Decline as a Journalist and CNN's Attempt to Cover It Up. Roseanne Barr answers the burning question,
what is a woman?
A woman is me. A woman is somebody whose breasts hang down to her stomach and who has a prolapsed uterus from giving birth to 5 ungrateful little bastards who have never had to work for a thing in their goddamn life.
Is it just me, or are the criticisms of Donald Trump getting out of hand?
Donald Trump said on this video that he likes kissing pretty women and that you don't? Sir, can I finish?
You like kissing ugly women?
A UCLA pro-Palestinian protester was rushed to the hospital after collapsing on day 9 of her hunger strike. The protester and her friend are now blaming UCLA for her hospitalization and decision not to eat any food. Brad Garlinghouse responds to info that Senator Cynthia Loomis may have canceled their meeting because her son is a Bitcoin maxi. Not sure about you, but I for one have full confidence that Brad will get to the bottom of this. And Viagra is now providing a security measure for men who experience an erection that lasts longer than 4 hours. They show them this picture. All right, let's take a quick look at some target price levels for both XRP and Bitcoin. If we take a look at XRP on the weekly chart, we see that the stochastic RSI hidden bullish divergence may be playing out. However, both lines need to stay above this 20 level, and the RSI needs to cross and stay above the moving average, which is this yellow line, in order for XRP to head higher. You can see that this pink box has been added as a possible worst case scenario, meaning if the bear market started now, this would likely be the bottom, and you can see this range is in between the 0.618 and the 0.786 fib retracement levels on the logarithmic scale. These levels correspond to the price levels between 50 and 75 cents. On the other side, we have this green box listed as the next big take profit zone based on the fib extension levels from previous bull cycles between 450-ish and around $7.40. If we move over here and take a look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin had the highest weekly candle close in BTC history. The hidden bullish divergence finally played out, and now we're facing a potential bearish divergence comparing RSI with the price. If the relative strength index can break the 68.24 level on the weekly close, this will negate the bearish divergence. Also, if both lines of the RSI can cross and stay above the 80 level, which is this green line, this will also add bullish momentum. One thing to be aware of, there is a CME gap that was created, and the CME gaps do usually get filled. The CME gap is at $91,970. If Bitcoin does end up heading down, you would expect this gap to get filled, but this 97,000-ish level, which is the top of this descending broadening wedge, should prove to be strong support. If Bitcoin does end up negating the bearish divergence, we will be looking for a new all-time high for BTC. Another thing to keep in mind is if we take a measured move of the descending broadening wedge, it's definitely not out of the question that we could see Bitcoin hit approximately $122,000. And remember, the majority of the time, altcoins follow whatever Bitcoin does. So you know I'll be watching, and I'll keep you updated with any new information. Always remember that
everything woke turns to shit.
Life is definitely more fun when you try new things.
You can get baby oil on pizza. I done got it on pizza before.
In this crazy world, you just can't assume anything.
Did you just assume my gender? You said white man.
Okay, I see your point.
How do you know I'm not a woman?
I see your point.
You need to check your white privilege, your white female privilege.
And while the climate change agenda is a hoax, gravity continues to prove that it's undefeated. And if you have a couple more minutes, you may also like this video right here, one of the craziest things to ever happen to XRP. Until the next time, be safe.